Welcome to the Way We Win podcast. I'm your host, Robert Lawson Jr., and this isn't about success stories. It's about pressure, purpose, and the process it takes to grow through what you go through. We talk faith, fatherhood, legacy, manhood, marriage, and mindset because winning looks different for everyone. Let's get to it. This is the Way We Win. Welcome to the Way We Win podcast. It's your boy Robert Lawson Jr. again, and I am here talking about what I used to feel for years. I mean, it's November, and for years I didn't know why around this time I would feel depressed. Holidays are coming up, the pressures of life. I mean, we're talking like, money, unfinished goals, right? The new year, January, I'm excited. This year I'm gonna do this, that year I'm gonna do that, right? So now November is here and you got Thanksgiving, you gotta see people, right? That you haven't saw all year. Maybe some family, some friends. And guess what? How are you doing? How have you been? What have you been up to, right? And some of these people you might have told last year what you were working on, right? So I got the pressures of possibly seeing some people that I may have told some stuff to that I might not have delivered on, right? Or I got the pressures of the family where you got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas coming up, and hey, babe, I want to do this. I want to get this. You got the kids giving you this list. I want this. I want that. I want this. I want that. You got the expectation of wanting to beat last year. Oh, last year I got my wife this, and this year I got to get that. Or, hey, or I thought that I would be at a better place at my job, or I thought I would be at a better place in my life, right? I said I was going to do these fitness goals, and did I do them? Yeah, every year it was the same cycle. The cycle was disappointment, pressure, shame, and then silence, right? So the disappointment is me looking back at something I wanted to do, didn't do, said I was going to do. The pressure of trying to do it, right? November, December, I got 2 months. Am I going to figure it out? Am I going to deliver these gifts? Am I going to? And then the shame of, I don't think I can do it. I might not do it. And then the silence, I don't talk about it, right? I'm by myself where in my head, I was supposed to do all these things and I'm not going to do it. Am I who I say I am? Am I lying to myself? This is tough. This is my life. This is the cycle that I used to go through all the time. So I didn't realize falling behind doesn't mean that I'm failing, right? You can still have a vision and fall behind on the time frame. Just because you don't complete it before the end of the year doesn't mean that you cannot complete it at all. So for me, falling behind is not failing, but it felt like failing. It felt like I was getting graded on a test. And so this is for anybody feeling unseen, feeling like they've fallen behind, anybody who might feel a little depressed or anything like that. Hopefully you can get something from this. So I do have some things I want to talk about. Just because you didn't hit your goals does not mean that God hasn't been working for you. So let me say it again. Just because you didn't hit your goals doesn't mean God has not been working on you. And I got this analogy not too long ago. It said that anybody can count how many seeds are inside of an apple, right? I can cut open an apple. I can see how many seeds are in there. But in this situation, who can tell how many apples are in a seed, right? So in this situation, I would say nobody knows how many apples the seed will produce, but you. Only you know what God put inside of you. Only I know what God put inside of me. So this vision that I have, these goals that I have, this expectation that I'm putting on myself, right? Only God knows why I have that. So let's break down why we feel like we are falling behind. One, I have here the pressure of expectations, right? You set goals, life didn't go as planned. Two, end of the year comparison, right? You know that you set goals in the beginning of the year. You see what you accomplished personally, and especially with social media today, you're looking at what other people may have accomplished, and you might be comparing yourself to what they did or didn't do, right? Financial stress, right? Why do we fall behind? Bills, holidays, random things that come up in life, right? We could be falling behind in those type of areas. Anxiety, right? Time anxiety, the fear of running behind, right? Like, man, I needed to finish school by this time. I need to, you know, I need to be financially free by this time, right? There's a lot of anxiety that can come that way. But I would say God's progress isn't always visible. A lot of stuff that God will do in your life will be private, right? Before David publicly defeated Goliath, he privately killed a bear and a lion, right? So what is God working on you privately before he can publicly show everybody else? Right? For me, God is working on my patience, right? I want something right now. I want to show up right now. And God is like, trust. God is like, have discipline. God is like, praise me in the midst of the chaos. Can I say thank you, God? In the midst of it not happening, can I say thank you, God? Because I know it's on the way. And even if it's not on the way, thank you for taking care of my needs today, right? Feeling unqualified. Some of the things that I have in my mind, I've never done them before, right? My family member has never done them before. I might be the first one amongst my peers to do what I want to do. So then I feel unqualified. Why? Because nobody around me has done it before, right? Because you're breaking this generational curse. You're breaking this mental barrier that you're an imposter, right? How are you showing up as something you've never done before? Yeah, nah, homie, you lying to yourself, right? Nah, that's not it. Before an apple tree can bear apples, it's first a seed. And after it's a seed, it becomes a root, and then it becomes a branch, a tree, a little stem, a tree. It grows branches, it has leaves, and then eventually it has fruit, right? So God had to remind me, what stage are you at? Like, just because you don't see the apples don't mean I'm not working on you. I can see some roots. I can see a branch. I can see some leaves, right? Like, do you see the progress? Have you grown? Are you maturing? Yeah, you going through other seasons, and it's like, God, I just got some leaves on this tree. I got some leaves on this tree, and I had to go through a storm. Or God, I was getting real close to producing my first apple, and it was rotten, or it got stolen, right? So I would say that part. You are enough, right? I would say uh imposter syndrome can show up in your marriage, right? I mean, me, man, I'm celebrating 14 years, 15 years next year, and it's tough. I am not my father, right? My father got a divorce, right? But I think about, hey man, maybe I'm not meant for this marriage thing, man. I last this long, right? Or maybe you have imposter syndrome at the job. You just got a new job because you fixed up your resume and you went to school, and you know this is something new for you, and you may not be performing like you want to. And you're like, dang, is this really for me? Like, hey man, they looking at me and they got the pressures, and I didn't get the pat on the back, or I'm not hearing great job like I used to at the other job. And man, the person next to me got fired. Can I do this? Am I capable of doing this? Did I pick the right career? Right? You could feel like everyone else is ahead of you in life. I know I felt that way. I'm like, man, like, you go on social media. I mean, that's the first thing. You go on social media, look like everybody else winning but you. You jump on there, they got the car, they got the trip, they doing this, they doing that. They family's happy, they family pictures look great. Like, dang, everybody else is so ahead of me, right? But I heard somebody tell me life is like a merry-go-round. You're going to always have somebody in front of you, but you're always going to have somebody behind you. So I would say just keep spinning, right? Try not to worry about who's in front of you or who's behind you, but just make sure your life is going. Your life is going in the direction that you want it to actually go. And celebrate your wins, right? I don't care if you just got a new Honda and that Honda is 20 years old. If it's your car, celebrate it. Like J. Cole say, love yours, right? Love yours. Oh man, I had a 1993 Prelude and I love my car, my stick shift, and so I say celebrate your win, celebrate yours, celebrate your first, and I don't care what anybody else look like. If they celebrate with you or not, celebrate yours. I would say confidence is what we need, right? And the confidence that I would say I have doesn't come from knowing everything, right? Um, Confidence comes from trusting God in the stuff that I do not know as well, right? So one of my favorite saying is it's winning season, and when I'm not winning, I'm learning, and when I'm learning, I'm winning, right? So either you know how to win or you're learning how to win. Either way, you're winning, right? So build your confidence not in just things, but in mastering a certain thing, right? And putting in the work over and over. And hey, I'm trying this and I fell down and I got back up and I fell down and I got back up and I fell. Now I'm a professional getter upper, right? I'm not saying I won't fall down again, but I'm saying that if when I do, by the grace of God, He's with me when I get back up. Here's something else. Um, God loves to use the unqualified. Moses, he couldn't speak well. David, David wasn't even invited to the room by his own dad. David had so many brothers. They knew that the man of God was coming through and he was gonna pick somebody to be king. And it was like, where the rest of the people at? Where these all your sons? He like, yeah, these all my sons. And he went through the room. David was a shepherd, shepherding sheep. He was not in the room. He was not somebody they even thought about. Paul had a horrible past. So if you talk about somebody to write a lot of the books in the New Testament, this was a guy who persecuted majority of the Christians. Like this guy was sitting there holding somebody's jacket while they killed somebody. And this is the guy that God used to lead and write a lot of books in the Bible, right? God doesn't call us because we're perfect. God calls us because we've been positioned by Him. We've been positioned for a unique purpose, for a unique cause, for the reason that He put us here today that only we know in our heart. You are qualified because you are chosen, not because you're ready. And everything that I look back and I reflect back on my past, what God has done, I wasn't ready for marriage, but I knew that it was something that God said I should do. I wasn't ready to help multiple businesses go to 7 figures a month, but I knew it was something that God said I can do. I wasn't ready to be a father, but God chose me and it happened, right? I wasn't ready to do this podcast and and start speaking this, but it's something that God has told me to do. So whether you feel qualified, that's not it. It's not it. Can you take a step? I would say is the question. Can you take one step forward? And if you can, do that. I don't care how you feel like it. I don't care how you look at yourself, right? Like how do you value yourself? It doesn't matter. It's how God values you, right? You're created. That seed that is inside of you is supposed to be fruitful and multiply. People should see the fruit that God has put in you. What fruit has God put in you? And can the world see it? And if it can't, then what do you need to do to allow people to see it? Because people need to eat of that fruit. People need to eat of your fruit, and are you allowing them? Or are you hiding it? Right? That's what God is telling me right now. So I would say walking into a new season, the year is just a few weeks away. How do we walk into the new year without shame, without doubt? Last year does not define you. All the stuff I used to do, what happened to me last year, last month, that doesn't define me. I used to do this. I used to be that. I remember when. That's the first thing that's going to happen to try to shame you or put you down. I remember when, unless it's, I remember when I used to be bigger and now I'm better, unless you're going to reference a past point as a lower point than where you are today, be careful. I remember when I used to make more money. I remember when I used to be more fit. I remember when I used to have a loving relationship. Nah. More money is on the way. More love is on the way. More peace is on the way. I am taking a step today to receive all these things today, right? So don't let last year define where you're going. You grew more than you think, right? If you're going to reflect back, think about the lessons along with the wins. Think about the lessons that you're going to use as stepping stones to build on into more wins, right? So you grew more than you think. You survived what could have destroyed you. A lot of things could have took you down. A lot of people wanted to see you lose. A lot of situations you could have gave up. You could have stayed down. And I'm sure your reasons are valid of why you didn't want to get back up. But you survived. You survived things that could have just destroyed you. So I would say because of that, that's a reason why you got to fight for it. That's a reason why you got to show fruit. That's a reason why people need to see your wins so you can glorify God. They can glorify God. You can be a testament to how you got through it so you can teach somebody else, so you can inspire somebody else. They need to see that. So I would say we're walking into the new year more wiser, more aligned, more wins on the way. We did not fall this year. We did not fall. We were formed. We're learning from all those things that we've been through. We're taking these lessons. We're turning them into more wins. We turn them into more stepping stones. We're turning the doubt into more wins, more faith, more love, more peace. So I would just say, look, to wrap this up in closing, I don't know who this is for, but we're walking into a season of becoming, right? We're walking into a season where our character shows up in our actions, not just our words. We're walking into a season where we've been redefined by the stuff that we've been through. We're stacking up these lessons for more wins. You are a person of value. You are loved. You know how to get up. Doesn't matter what we're facing. This is what we get to do. So walk into this new season with more confidence, knowing that you're valued, know that you're learning, know that just because people don't see it, that you are being built privately. And if people do see it publicly, they may not know what you have to go through to get there. But be fruitful. Let people see your fruit, that it may point towards God. And welcome to The Way We Win. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. All right, God bless. This is The Way We Win. Built under pressure, built with purpose. If this bless you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Let's keep winning.